My apologies. I love my dog that I've gotten, my hellhound, my dearest, darlingest person, but it's not a person, it's a hellhound. But she can sometimes be a bit much. She's not particularly fond of, well, cats. Which is unfortunate, because I also love cats, so... Anywho, back to my beautiful PowerPoint. Most historical inaccuracies I don't enjoy. The reason for this is because I think I've lived through enough history to understand what it was like, but also because as much as I would love, as much as the next person, I would love for history to be a wonderful thing, and sometimes it is a wonderful thing, it's not always going to be a wonderful thing, because that's just not in the nature of things to be wonderful. And we need to acknowledge the issues that arose to truly accept and appreciate history. Now, we don't have to agree with the things that happen in history. I know there are a great many things that happen in history that I would have much rather never have happened, but they did, and we have to acknowledge those things. Ignoring them is only going to make matters worse, and some people will end up becoming apologists for things that should not ever be forgiven, or that they have no right to say, oh, well, they weren't that bad. Because they were. And your excuses don't make them any better. Anywho, also just sometimes I'll see some show and there will be historical inaccuracies that never happened, and I will be very upset with them because I know they didn't happen. I was there. That's not how that conversation went at all, but you do you. Hobbies and interests. Alright, I enjoy cooking. I don't need to eat. I can just drink some ambrosia and snack on some nectar and I'm fine. I don't even technically need that. But human food is oftentimes very good. And I do enjoy eating it myself. And I enjoy a great many deal of your drinks. I particularly like tea. That's definitely become one, if not my most favorite. And I enjoy, obviously, potato soup. Steaks are quite good. Let's see. And all in all, cooking is a way for me to, I guess, relax. Writing also helps relax me, but it just doesn't do the same as cooking does. I love cooking so much. Anywho, sports such as volleyball and figure skating. When I found these sports, I cannot begin to tell you how happy they made me. I ultimately did join a recent volleyball league, and I am so very excited to do the volleyball things. In figure skating, I've always been a bit clumsy, so I can't figure skate. But I love watching it, and there's a part of me that wishes I could do the jumps and the loops and all the axles. I would love to be able to do that. I can't though, and it's something that we discovered often. Again, hobbies and interest. History. I've experienced most of human history, excluding the last 300 years or so. But outside of that, I've experienced most of history, and just getting to share my knowledge with other people is something that I greatly enjoy. And I think that's one of the reasons why I'm excited to do this, is to share my knowledge and have others share their knowledge with me. Reading. I think that one makes itself obvious. I enjoy reading. It is a relaxing, comforting thing to, well, occasionally. I've noticed that authors nowadays are very into killing their characters off, which is an interesting thing, but outside of that, it is otherwise very peaceful and allows you to do something other than staring at a screen all day. Not that that's a bad thing, but I do think that reading is a great break from things when you need it. And then just in general, creating. While I may be a being of creation and writing and literature specifically, I enjoy doing things such as art and music, amongst many other great things. I've never sculpted before. That's mainly because art won't let me into their studio, so it's unfortunate, and I think that it's just fun to create something and know that it has a place in the world. So that is quite wonderful. Next slide. All right. Here's just some fun little facts. Oh, also, do you enjoy my little chibis? I worked very hard to make them for stickers on my Discord, and also for this wonderful slideshow. Alright. So, Honkai Impact 3rd, it has my heart. So, I awoke roughly around when it was released. So for a long time, it was only me and art. And I was suffering similar symptoms to what you humans may call depression. And I was introduced to Honkai Impact around that time, so I've been playing it since it released. I have almost every Hersher except for 3, mainly because I missed their runs because I was out doing my duties as a being of creation. So, Fuha is bae. I say this because I wish I had her memory before Hersher of Sentience. Spoilers. And also because I just love her personality so much. Alrighty. I'm going to go tell Art to get her their cat and maybe keep it under control. I definitely will be playing Honkai Impact on stream, just because I think It's such a great game, and I want to share it with everyone because I love it so much. Other types of games I like? Horror. I love horror games. Again, for the same reason I love horror and my likes and interests. Sims 4, I just think it's fun to create, like, these little people and, like, move them around and, like, do fun little things and just give them sort of a purpose in life, you know? I don't necessarily like the micromanagement of it, but that's fine. I may actually ditch Sims 4 for a game coming out at some point called Paralives, but I'll probably play Sims 4 on stream until that point. Skyrim and similar. I love Skyrim. Everything about it. I'm not sure what it is about it, but it just draws me in, and I can't stop playing it. Games that have multiple endings, sections, and chapters. I love a good game that has different endings and sections and chapters, and I think this may be because when I play games, I've noticed throughout the recent years that I like to complete everything I can in the game and get every accomplishment. So I enjoy things that have multiple bits to them. Outside of that, Batman games, I loved Arkham Knight. That's another game that I've played very recently, like within the last year or so. It's such a good game. Maybe even one that I'll play on stream also, although I haven't decided on that. And then the Injustice series, specifically Injustice 2, I just love it. I'm not sure what about it is. The writing's great. The gameplay is something else I also love. So yes, expect to see some of those types of games on stream. Anime. I have recently gotten into anime. The writing's great in many animes, and I wish I could say the same thing about most. Other types of media. Anywho, one of my favorite animes is Phantom in the Twilight. It's, I wouldn't say it's a popular series by any means. I would like it to be a popular series so we can get another season. But I don't know if that'll ever happen. So I'm going to stick with the just being here, mentioning it occasionally, and, rewatching it like every other week. Black Butler, I just think it's hilarious. The premise is funny. It's kind of got some pretty dark humor moments, and I enjoy good dark humor. I'm not great at making dark humor jokes myself, but I appreciate people who can make good dark humor jokes. Spy X Family, Spy Family, however you would like to pronounce that. It has my whole heart. It's so cute. And it makes me happy. So happy to see it. Anywho, Demon Slayer, another one that I have seen. Again, it's just a great writing moment. And Sorry. Art was texting me about something. It's great writing. The animation style is amazing. It's fluid. The fight scenes are wonderful. It's just such a good anime that I enjoy. And then Sirius the Jaeger, I love it. And I know we're never going to get another season of it, but when Art showed me it, I binge watched it. I binged it so often. I binged it one day, and then I'd binge it again the next. And it's so good. And if you haven't seen it, you should go watch it if you like this type of anime. So yes. Okay, so my goals and plans. So I'm hoping to have around 1K around this time next year on all platforms, my Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. I'm hoping to have better equipment. I currently have no microphone. The delivery has been delayed, like 5 times now. So I don't think I'm ever gonna get the microphone. I just think it's not showing up. I also have a very poor setup for trying to do 15 million things. There will definitely be games that I will play on stream that you won't have an avatar because I don't think my system could handle running all those things. Write a book on stream. One of my first streams, I'm not sure if maybe Friday, this upcoming Friday, will be a writing stream where we will be plotting out most of the book, things such as that. So if you're interested in that, come and join us. Avoid burnout. I've seen a lot of VTubers while I was doing research for this and that, that just get so burnt out, and they just don't have the energy, and it makes sense. It seems like it is a lot. There's no seems about it. It is a lot to do this, and it's going to be hard, especially considering I have so many duties outside of this that require my attention, that it's going to be hard, but I'm willing to go through it to make sure that I can bring you the best content possible. Also, I want to build a welcoming community. I have seen, again, very recently, many creators whose communities can go from welcoming to very, very toxic, very, very fast. And I want to avoid that as much as possible. I would love to build a welcoming community, as I've stated in my rules. I don't want to have to enforce rules that I've created harshly, because I feel bad, because I want you guys to enjoy this experience, and I want to enjoy it too. But I can't do that if we aren't following the rules I set forth, and other streamers' rules if I ever collab with anyone. So, a welcoming community who's respectful is what I would enjoy building. Plans for content-wise, I'm hoping to have weekly YouTube videos. And that's not counting my my streams that I will upload, obviously, so they can be watched by a more diverse audience outside of just Twitch. At least 2 streams weekly. I'm going to say at least 2 streams weekly because I, again, have duties outside of this that I have to attend to that do rank priority over streaming. especially around October is one of my busiest months. And September leading up to it's a lot, and so I'm hoping that I can work everything out correctly. But you know, don't trust that I won't cancel occasionally. I won't do it all the time, and I will make sure. Excuse me for a moment. Okay, again, apologies. Issues with animals occasionally arise. We are working them out often. Where was I? Ah, yes. At least 2 streams weekly. I may have to cancel some of the occasional streams. Again, I do a lot. I have a lot of duties. There will be times where something will come up and I will not be able to stream. But that shouldn't happen too often. But just expect it to happen occasionally. Things you can expect: games, study, and writing streams. And, you know, some just chats. Games, I enjoy playing games, and I think a lot of people enjoy watching others play games. I know I certainly do. Study-wise, I know that there's a good portion who are either high school age, college age, and that requires a lot of studying, so I want to be able to help you guys and motivate you to do your work and like study for your tests and that stuff. So study streams. And writing streams. I love writing. I want to share that passion with you guys. That's why I'm doing this. So expect writing streams. I already have a plan for what we will be writing on stream. I think we will enjoy it very much. Potentially some collabs later on. I really hope, anyways. That's something that I want to be able to do eventually. And then eventually a 2D model. I know a lot of people who are 2D who want to go to 3D. But I would love to be able to go to a live 2D model. I think they look so good. And they would allow me to do so much more with my model. And I really want to. So that's what I personally am working towards, is being able to commission someone to do that, and learning how to like live rig it and that stuff, because that is, again, something that I would love so much. And then staying consistent. As much as I am a being of creation, of writing and literature, I'm not consistent, and I feel like my mini writers are not consistent, as I've noticed. Trust me, the amount of times I had to get on Shakespeare's back to get his work done. Few too many times. Anywho, the point is, staying consistent is something that I hope to do, which is also why I'm doing things such as studying and writing streams. Because I know that will encourage me to stay consistent in my own personal life. So, yeah. My model. I created my model myself. Pretty much everything that you see has been created by me, and is of my own design. So my model, I'm sorry for the really bad pictures, but like, here's what I look like. I wear combat boots regularly. I just think this is comfortable. Also, this is not my true form. This is a form that I have taken to make humans more comfortable around me. In fact, I think I have an image of what my truer form looks like than this. My true form is vaguely humanish, but not quite. So yeah, anywho, this is very funny. I like puffy sleeves. Long bat-like sleeves, they just make me so happy. So as for my background, so as you can read, I can't pinpoint the exact time I came into existence. I just kind of appeared, as did most of the other beings of creation. I do know that it was in a random field in Bohemia, but that's all I could tell you. Is I first appeared in Bohemia. I kind of stayed in Bohemia for the first 2 million years or so, because everything was just kind of... It was not black. Like, I have some idea of what it was like back then, but not much. The first 2 million or so years of my life are really just a time that I could never explain to anyone, which I think is funny, because most of the other spirits of creation, or beings of creation, they have clear memories of those first 2 million years. But I couldn't tell you a thing about my first 2 million years. So roughly after 1.2 million years after I awoke, and so by that I mean when I first started remembering things. I don't consider the first 2 million years of my life me being awake. And the reason I don't is because I remember when I first came into existence, opening my eyes and being in the field. And then 2 million years after that, waking back up in the same exact field. And things had obviously shifted, as things do in 2 million years or so, around 3 million more like it, but it was quite a different sight. So I noticed something as I took to a cave for some rest, and it was like the first time I truly understood why I existed, and I think it was a cave painting, but I can't quite tell you that it was. I just know it was a thing that I saw, and it was like everything that I needed fell into place. So stories and mythology developed alongside me, and I feel like I could have worded that better. Whereas I developed alongside stories and mythology. As stories and mythology and languages were developed, I grew more powerful. I nurture creative besides others similar to me. So as I mentioned, art, music, they all have a being of creation too. And so I nurtured creatives with them. And we're essentially like siblings. So much of my long life blurs together now. I've lived such a long and slightly eventful life. If you know writers, you know that we have never been one to be boring or live long. So, anywho, there are bits and pieces that are very clear, and then there's a bunch that I could tell you about the trends of the time, but I could not tell you exactly what happened. Centuries of a long history past are often left in my footsteps. So the plane of existence I live in is known as the Inkwell. Many who visit or are allowed into my realm will see a different interpretation, which is why why the video that I put out for my debut trailer, it was the best I could do with combining everyone's interpretation of the Inkwell, because it is so different yet so similar, much like Stories for Everyone. A common theme is that I am sitting on a vast expansive lake. Okay. I'm sitting in a vast expansive lake, Excalibur next to me, and a moon behind me. And that's kind of where the similarities end. And I think that's very interesting that those are the similarities that people will find in the Inkwell. Because for me, really, the Inkwell is like a home, but it exists sort of as a giant library which contains works from every era, every writer who's ever written anything. They all exist in this one place in different kind of portal areas. And so for me, the Inkwell appears more as a library than it does a realm that I seemingly rule over. But I just think that's interesting. I own a great deal of famous mythological weapons, as I mentioned. I'm kind of listed as the keeper of them. Excalibur. Oh, let's see. Most Greek demigods' weapons I own or keep hold of until such a time is called upon that they are needed. Plague arrows, lightning bolts. You name it, I probably have it somewhere in the Inkwell. I'm the youngest being of creation. So, music and I are very close. Essentially twins. But not quite. They're just slightly older than me. But other than that, I am the youngest. Let's see, everyone else is a lot older. They've existed for years. So I think that's an important fact. It explains quite a bit about me. I would say that I'm the youngest. Not that I've ever been favored much. what you're seeing is a form I've taken to allow humans to be more comfortable with me. We established that in my model. This little picture down here is more close to what my real form is. It's not quite my real form. My real form is a bit more horrifying and a few more horns involved. But I'm sure you'll get to see that sooner rather than later. And so yes, there's my basic explanation of, you know, who I am and things you should know about me. Let's see. That's the wrong thing. Boop. Alrighty. So that's really what this stream was just me letting people know who I am, what I am. There's some fun facts about my model that I would like to show off, so I'm going to do my thing and increase my model size. Alright, so hello. I feel like we're very close, but this is fine. So as you can tell, I have fangs. Most spirits of creation, except for, I want to say art and maybe dance, don't have fangs. But I do. Which is great. It's actually really hard to eat things sometimes. I have a bit of purple, as you can see, on my eyeliner. It's very, complimenting to my eyes. Oh, there's white speckles in my eyes. You can kind of see them. Interesting. So people often also say I am a being who holds galaxies in her eyes. And that makes sense in a way, because writing essentially creates your stories. You're bringing something into existence. And that's a very complex thing. Anywho, and I also have like really cute little freckles. Like, I gotta look at these freckles. They're so cute. Look at them. Adorable. Oh yeah, my ears. They are. Ooh. Look at those pointy little elf ears. Anywho, so yes. Again, as I said, I will probably do a writing stream this Friday if I get the chance. I think that'll be really fun to start plotting everything out in that. But otherwise, I think right now that's the end of my stream. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. Definitely make sure to follow. I was hoping that in a month's time we could have 10 followers. I feel like that's a bit much to ask for, but I have faith in myself and in you guys watching. So I will see you all a bit later. I also realized that now probably would have been a great time to post about this stream, and I didn't because I'm kind of dumb, but it's fine. I did it. Now we're here, and I hope you all have a wonderful time. And I hope you enjoy the stream. Alright. I will catch you all on the flip side.